Yes, I know. Welcome back, my friends. OpenHours at it again. We've got our crack team of specialists here. Not really, but all right. First, no RC car today. Maybe an after hours. I know I said open hours. However, we've got an emergency. We got a rush. I may have to break out of the live stream for a moment and call this gentleman, but let's fire it up. Oh boy, how are we gonna do this? We need one of the dongles. Come here, dongle. Dongle you. Who uses dongles? Losers. On that loser dongle. Oh boy, it's gonna work too. Nice. I never get that lucky when it comes to the DVI thing, the whole using the DVI adapter. I always end up with the 4-pin adapter, and it will only plug into the slot. I don't have the 4 pins around the slot to plug in. But today, my friends, victory. We have plugged into it. Now I just need a keyboard and mouse. So let's check this out and see what happens. I'm hoping it's going to go to the KVM. We'll send it to the KVM first, and then we will bring it over to hey, what do you know? It booted first try. Okay, so we're going to send it to the KVM and see what the deal is. I'm not quite sure yet, but we're gonna find out. Keyboard is on, mouse is on. Just for the show of things. Oh, aren't you lucky? You can't even get in on the fun here. What if we pull this camera way down? Check that out. We'll swing it right in the way of my OBS so I can't see a dang thing that I'm broadcasting. And we'll jack that camera up just a little bit. Check that out. Check that one out, huh? Yeah? Look at that. There's a couple problems here that I don't agree with. And if it's how people want to make computers, okay. I'll buy it. Buy it. HP I'm buying. But you at least got to tell me why. We've got a rinky-dink motherboard. Number one, we're plugging this thing in not with a power cord from the wall. We're plugging in with a laptop power supply to the motherboard. And then that is the power supply. Everything else is coming off the motherboard. Our SATA port plugs into the motherboard and comes out to the hard drive. Is it reliable? Maybe for a little bit, but long term, I don't think. We've got a laptop hard drive in there, not near as robust as a full-size optical drive. At least we got a full-size hard drive in there, not a little 5400 RPM piece of loser technology. You know, it's kind of weird though. They've got this this beefed up SATA cable that has its own ground strap to the chassis. Like, I've never seen that till today. Other than that, yeah, it's got some interesting stuff happening. Just all the power for the hard drives and everything comes direct off the motherboard. On top of that, it's a cut corner motherboard with a little, I don't even see any stickers on this, but I'm guessing an AMD processor. Let's find out. We need a password to get into this thing. I'm gonna have to call and get the password. He did not write the password down. Is there a chance that it's empty? Okay, give me a moment, my friends. I have to call this guy to get the password. So we're gonna mute after I dial the number. Can you guys guess from the beeping what numbers I'm dialing? Oh wait, they all sound the same. Alright, let's mute this out. Okay, that one failed. No answer on that phone number. So maybe he'll call back. Till then, boy, what a password hint that is. Let's hit OK and get our hint. I didn't think so. Let's just guess. Okay, so I've guessed a couple times, but we're not going to keep guessing. We'll wait for the call back on this one. We may have to jump over to something different. Spur of the moment. Not gonna, maybe somebody out there could help me. Help me save me from myself. See, that's what I don't get. When you're getting a computer worked on, if you have to put a password into your computer, you got to give that password out. Let me ask the other guy. Maybe he knows what the password is. On top of that, we're pulling an IDE drive out of a bigger tower over here. Yeah, if somebody's expecting you call and they don't answer, they should call you back in a relatively short amount of time. Let's check with the other guy and see what the scoop is. Okay, we can now have access to this stupid IDE drive. Let's put our screws here with the other ones. We've got, oh, look at that. We didn't need to take that side off. If that's the case, let's put it back on right now. That way we don't ever have to play with it. Okay, we'll throw them back on and pull the drive out from the right hand side. We're on the other side of this guy for reference. So my lack of looking ahead into these things, there's your proof right there. I just grab the next body, the next victim to pass on to the next victim that's put onto the operating table, and we go from there. I mean, you could probably make more interesting videos if you thought about it and and kind of took a peek at what you're getting into. I don't though. I try to keep it as legit as possible. Like, here's the reported problem, here's the actual problem. Sometimes they guess right, not always though. Okay, we have to, I don't have a camera pointing this way, which is a shame. You can kind of see me bebopping around over in this area, like some movement. Check this out. I gotta cover this up. You can't even read that, can you? Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can. Check those numbers out. That's a WD400. Anybody that don't know that drive, that is a rockin' 40 gig from whatever year. IDE at that. Like, that's before SATA for you kids, any kids that may see this. We had some speed back in the day. I think, what was it, like 144 megabytes or something? I forget what they topped out at. Something preposterously slow back in the days of putting jumpers on, telling you to drive, who was the master, who was the slave. And for you woke people there, that's not, we're not talking about anything that you would think. You actually had to jumper the drives with master and slave at one point. ID drives, what fun, what fun. Alright, we need a power cord for our cable here. We got to go over to the All-in-Wonder we're going to try and clone this drive, 32 gig, she's out of room. We're cloning it over to a 250 gig to try and save it from itself, and then we are going to see if there's still a persistent problem, see if the drive still fills up, which it shouldn't. I don't believe it's infected. The infection's been cleaned out, but if it's like one of those things where it keeps making copies and fills itself up, so be it. I don't think it is. None of the tools found it, so there we go. That's some gusto there. Man, you heard that thing spin up. That was like a little plane taking off, a jet engine winding up. Can this thing even see? Device manager. Alright, let's do a scan. Wish I could show you this. This is simple though. What is it on? Single or master? Master, slave, present, and slave. We are powered up, but we are pretty lame. Alright, so apparently that cable's not working. Too old. We gotta resource our other cable, which is slightly newer than 2001. Uh-oh. Hang on, people. Alright, that was one of the bosses. One out of the 20 bosses. Alright, so let's clone this. Clone this bitch. Automatic. We're just doing the whole Cronus thing again. This is pretty lame today. I should have checked that password. Alright, we're going to select our 40 gig, which is USB, hit next. Then we're going to go to our little 250 gigger. I don't have faith in this working. You should hear this IDE drive. Alright, our other USB is our 250 gig. We're going to hit next. It's going to tell us there's partitions on it because that's the same drive we just used. We're recycling this thing. It's a temporary holding facility. We're going to hit proceed, and I don't think the computer should have to reboot to do this operation. However, it might. Alright, no password. What do we do? What do we do for 15 minutes here, people? Rather than waste everybody's time, I say we just kill it. Here we go. Here, we'll go on another rant. Let me find the pictures first. They are on the desktop. Two, three, four, five, six. Okay, so let's pop this up. I realize it's going to be a square photo. Okay, I realize this. That's the computer that we need a password for. I don't know how people, there's even a question they're asked. And there's a spot on there like, fill this paper out. Just some stuff, some information slips through the cracks. Anyhow, that's what we're looking at that I was showing you on the camera. Look at that tiny little motherboard. That little loser HP. I'm not being that hard on it. Anyhow, look at this. As soon as it clears up, there we go. My computer's slow, we're streaming. Okay. Here, right here, is where your laptop power supply plugs in, gives it power. You got your tiny little AMD processor under there. Maybe it's an Intel Atom, I don't think so. They probably have a different cooling for it, maybe. Maybe not. Power comes out for your hard drive up here, or your laptop optical drive. This is your power feed for it. Here's the power wire for your SATA hard drive coming off of the motherboard. And then you also have the power, well, I guess there's not really power, it's data cables for the SATA drive. And then you have a grounding strip for this. This is your SATA drive right here that goes over to the hard drive. There's a grounding strap that comes off of the other end of the SATA cable connected to the chassis of the computer, which is, let me find it. Let's go back. Well, I skipped to the end on that. Yeah, look at this. There's where your SATA cable comes from there, over around, and that's a grounding strap that comes down and screws in where the hard drive is. I've never seen that. Please explain that to me. In my opinion, is this a bad computer? I don't know. I can't even tell you what the hardware is on it. I would have to say, maybe it's not a bad computer. It'll probably do whatever job you need it to do for a little while. Maybe that grounding strap is there to save the hard drive, because we've had a few of these come in, older models, that didn't have that little grounding strap, and they got hit by lightning and everything was dead. Optical drive, gone. Motherboard gone, hard drive gone. I mean, nothing would power up, all dead. Yeah, couldn't even pull the hard drive and put it into a dock or use like an external, power and cable assembly to plug it in USB. Wasn't happening, it was dead. Can the same thing happen in a well-built or a custom-built desktop? Sure it can. Can the same thing happen in a $2,000 laptop? Sure it can, yes. But building desktops more like laptops doesn't make sense, especially when it's a cut-corner budget laptop you're building it like. but this gets you in under that very, very low price point of, let's look it up. Let's look it up. I don't want to slam something and make up a number. Alright, let's look it up here, people. We'll get some facts before we start ragging on it. What did I call this thing? I don't even remember. Okay. No, I do. Okay, so $249 gets you a desktop. Quad core, A8 APU, handles Radeon okay, what Radeon graphics do you get? Something usable or something not usable? No, I mean, it's a computer. Can you really complain these days? Everybody should just be given a computer. When you're born and you get your Social Security number, you get a random device handed to you. That way you learn to use it when you're little and you not knowing, you know? Maybe it's not the best idea. I'll work out the details later. Alright, computer restart required. Let's restart it and see what happens. That's on our clone. So yeah, that is... Am I giving out info? I didn't think I was. No info there. You just get to see my name. It's spelled goofy. Boomoo is who's selling this? I never heard of no Boomoo. That's, I mean, call yourself whoever you want. Okay, so the computers are comparing these two. Let's look here for a moment. Now they have another 550 Pavilion model for $826. Core i3 4170, it's a dual core, 6 gigs of what, DDR3, I believe, with 4th gen Intel. You get a 23-inch monitor, 1 terabyte hard drive, Windows 10 Home. I would run that well before I would run something like this. But this is kind of your budget, stick it anywhere computer. And it even costs more than this. I would take this older 3rd gen Core i5 3470 HP Elite small form factor PC. We actually have something like this that we're going to be giving away soon. And I like this. This isn't recertified or refurbished. This is renewed. Is that what I do? Would that be great content? Should I renew computers? Can we do a live stream about that? Renewing it? Oh wait, we have. I just didn't use that lackluster term. But you can't, to be accurate, you can't use recertified because it's not recertified by the manufacturer. It's not refurbished, I guess. That's a whole nother process. Maybe they could use that term, refurbished. Renewed, that's a new one now. I like it. Alright, let's pack up our lenses. Okay, so, live stream for today. Bitter failure. We should have just did the RC car. That's what I get trying to rush on stuff for people. Damn it, I'm not Russian. I'm not Russian, I'm American. Why else would these errors be happening? Try to be something you're not and you fail. Fall flat on your face in front of the world. Help me. Help me. Alright, my friends. Good news, though. Good news. We've got the glue gun. Check this thing out, man. This is kind of special here. Alright, check it out. Slide that over out of your view. Just a little bit. What is going on? What in the world is happening? Acronis is doing what it does. this glue gun, this is what we're going to use. I like this. It's got an on-off switch. I actually have another glue gun. It's 12 volt. And I use a 4-cell bat. You can use a 4-cell if it's a little bit dead, or which is closer to 14.8 volts, or a 3-cell, which is 11.1. Your glue gun is just not going to run as hot or as long. And it's got an on-off on it too. Plug the battery in. It did go to the wall, and then it had an adapter thing to plug it in. But I just run it with a lithium polymer battery. We got this one, the super bonder. Got the big glue stick. We're going to use this to get the headlights and tail lights, turn signals installed in the RC car when we do it. If I get back from where I need to go today in a soon enough time, I think we're going to do an after hours. And if we can do that, we're going to get to the tail lights. Now, let's take a look here. We'll zoom that in a little bit. I did start drilling the holes. We got a hole drilled for a turn signal on each side, and then I was getting ready to drill the back and I wasn't sure. There he is. Anyhow, yeah, if we get back in time from where we're heading to a prior engagement that we have, not really cutting into today's time because we don't have the info we need to continue with this this rush job. We're attempting to get it, but yeah, so provided there is time later, we'll do after hours. If not, we'll do this tomorrow. I'm gonna get this going. This is gonna be fun. It's one step closer to the live stream from the car. We're gonna do a live stream from this car with its legal turn signals and headlights and brake lights. As legal as it can be anyhow. So that's going to be fun. Tune back in for that. If you came back today in hopes of seeing that, I'm sorry. I got put on a road to rushing something without all the info from the actual user themselves. So, wish me luck. Check back later. If you see a notification, tune in. We're going to be doing something fun. If not, I will see you then. Have a good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Wherever you are, it's one of those. So enjoy it. And I will see you later or tomorrow. Thank you for watching.